Oh, I need a bigger kitchen.
We all need a bigger kitchen. Multiple kitchens. How about that?
Yeah.
Multiple kitchens. Upstairs kitchen, downstairs kitchen. That's a flex.
But you've seen my kitchen. I need a bigger kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. And what up, stream? How you guys doing?
Hey, hey.
How's your Wednesday afternoon?
It's a Wednesday of Wednesdays.
Right? I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. Hope you guys are ready for a good stream. Yes, it's going to be short as per usual, because then we got a meeting. But on tonight's stream, it's nice. We're greeted by Chef and Orion, aka John Card. The leader extraordinaire of not only MagFed Menace, but 4-7. And this weekend, in our world, we have this thing called the Granite State MagFed Challenge that's happening at AG Paintball and Where. And what is the Granite State MagFed Challenge, you ask? What is it? Well, it sounds intriguing, it sounds spicy, it sounds new, it's fresh. What is this? Well, this is round 5, so if you've been to the previous ones, you already know. What is the Granite State MagFed Challenge, John? What is it?
Well, besides the obvious MagFed part of the challenge, it is a MagFed only thing.
Okay. Okay.
Participants like to compete against themselves, really. They're competing against each other, but really you're competing against yourself. You're trying to always better your time and better yourself.
Okay.
And complete the course. And the course begins simple enough with the course starts with a short sprint into your first shot. Just the closest shot, usually the easiest shot, and then you move on to your next target, which would be targets start to get progressively further away as you move from station to station. There is usually a grenade toss that you must complete. Usually involves throwing it into a bunker, or throwing it into a doorway, or throwing it through a window.
Okay.
Another one of your challenges. You usually have a shooting on the move challenge. That would be one of your stages that you would need to complete. And we also have forced mag changes in between stations. Sometimes you're forced to do this on the move, or you need to do it in a stationary position. And then usually the last shot will be the longest shot and the most difficult shot. And there are going to be a couple of new things that we are going to introduce this weekend that I'm really not going to put out there yet because it's a surprise.
I like that.
But
I like that.
let's just say the last round is definitely going to be a little more spicy than what they're used to. Usually the course stays the same throughout the challenge. We will normally in the first and second, not the practice round, but in the first round, sometimes we will have bonus targets hidden throughout the course. They're usually worth a nice little prize, not really worth ruining or tossing out a whole run for, but some players decide that they want to just chase that bonus target, and that's what they do. They'll just, find the target and shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Previous people have previous bonus target hitters have won themselves a bag of first strike rounds. That may be the case this weekend. It might not be. There may or may not be the bonus target this weekend.
Oh man.
It might be
Okay.
a completely different bonus setup.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Find out is to be there.
That's right. The last course that we had seemed to be pretty popular with all the players. We had a lot of return players, a couple of new players, and it seemed to be the pretty much like the favorite so far.
Okay.
So we're gonna probably run it pretty dang close to the same course as last time. There's a little bit of useful information for you folks out there that have run it before. It's going to be close to the same configuration, mostly because there are going to be other changes that have been made. So to keep it from being too much different or make it too confusing, the course is going to be the same-ish. Not where the targets are, but where you're going to be moving from. It also seems to be like the best part of the field that we've been running through. There's not too much wet area through there. You don't have to go through the ditch when we play that direction. So
That's good.
we didn't have any falls on the last one, even though we did have a little bit of snow. So
Hey, it can still happen.
I mean, it's true. It can happen to anyone at any time. But the goal. Well, that is true. The goal was though to try to eliminate, having to run through areas that were you weren't able to like maybe see as well as what was going on in the grass, or it was wet areas. We're trying to avoid those areas just so that's not something you have to worry about, losing your shoe or whatever as you're running through the course. So I think we've got that nailed down with what we did last time, our last course. So I don't know, Clay, you ran. How did you feel about the last course?
I liked it.
Compared to the other ones.
I liked it. And in comparison to the other ones, I will say this: I like the fact that the last one, the most recent, was also, I feel like, one of the more challenging ones. Not that the ones previous weren't. Like, I think 4 was pretty challenging, but like this in particular felt like there was no crossover between the other GSMCs. This one, the last one, I feel like was pretty unique. Maybe it was because there was a lot more players there and mostly MG players. But it felt like there was a I don't know, like it was cool. It was put together the right way in terms of just the way it flowed, I think, from start to finish. I think it was really good, and I can't wait. I'm actually super intrigued to see how this weekend goes, because yes, you filled me on a couple things here and there. You've given me little tidbits of stuff here and there, but I think you have to actually show up and run it to understand what it is and how it is.
I know one of the things it
Hard to describe.
It has been brought up before, so we've talked about doing it. It was said that we were going to do it at some point, and we haven't implemented it yet. But I was talking with Chris Ashley, who is helping me on this one. Obviously, my wife Katie is also helping with the scoring and stuff. But since, like we were talking about, Steve has been released because he really wants to run the course. So obviously, Steve Card has been there with me from the beginning, helping me run and design the course, and he always tries it at the end and always has a good time. And I know he's been really wanting to run it. So he asked me on the last one, hey, I'd really like to do the next one. So he's been booted from all decision making and any of the ideas and plans for this one. Clay knows more than he does now. So
Excellent.
But I have a feeling that he's going to be I don't know. Good play. If you manage to put the right bolt in your marker this time, I don't know. You might be pretty dangerous.
Oh my gosh. If I can remember to do the right thing.
I don't know.
Jeez.
Maybe if Clay swapped over to an MG.
Not gonna happen.
Maybe yeah. Maybe you just win MG full
Not gonna
time.
happen. Not gonna happen.
Hey, you
I got,
did better with the MG.
yeah,
Just saying.
because I had the right components. If I had the right components in my marker this time, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a better result. I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe. Um, I will say, there's a couple of new products on their way that I hope when they make it out, that I can just kind of swap my current set for something spicier, a little bit better. Um, but that being said, um, when it comes to gear and running the GSMC, as you guys may or may not have heard, it is MagFed only. So say somebody shows up and they don't have MagFed gear, what happens? What happens if somebody shows, they're like, yo man, I'd love to go, but I can't, I don't have any MagFed stuff. What would you tell them?
You tell them not to worry. I've got you covered.
Ooh, okay.
Because we happen to have loaner markers and rigs and mags specifically for that very reason.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And this is a field paint only, but it is a bring your own first strike. There will be a limited amount of first strike available to purchase, but we will have some. So if you do not have first strike.
Okay.
And what is your loan rate on first strikes? Is it a good APR?
I mean, what do you have for collateral, sir? What do you have for?
Yeah.
What can you put down to make sure that you know?
I can put down a child. He's 21.
Okay, excellent.
He works hard for everybody else.
I'm sure that's a good violation of our TOS, but that's okay. That's okay. I would say that shooting first strike, in my opinion, I'm gonna just out and say it without even asking, is kind of a necessity. It's kind of a necessity during the GSMC because I feel like it's less trigger pulls, which means greater time overall.
Yes, you do get three tries per target or per station.
No,
except for with the smoke grenade, obviously.
Okay.
You get one shot with the smoke grenade. If you miss with the smoke grenade, then that's it. But you get 3 trigger pulls at each target. So yes, the object with every bullseye that you make, bullseyes decrease your time. Misses don't hurt your time, but obviously the longer you're standing there shooting, the longer you're at that station, and it's going to make your time longer. So the goal is obviously if you could go and single tap every single target, that would be your fastest time. If you single tapped every target and hit a bullseye, every bullseye you would get minus a half second of your overall time. So then you can actually, your time can be faster than what you're actually running in if you make all bullseyes. So that's, but yes, first strike, these shots are definitely intended for first strike shooters, especially the first one and the second one are very doable. If you have a good paint like graffiti or something in your marker there, you could very easily, and it's been done, people have made multiple target shots with just paintballs, but you could very easily get the first 2 targets with round ball. They're about 10 and 20 yards for the first 2, and then after that is where we start to stretch out, and usually there is at least one shot that involves you going through 1 or 2 windows or bunkers or between some trees or something where your margin for error is very small. So there may be some things this weekend that make your margin of error even smaller than they've been in the past. So I think, like you're saying, first strike rounds in the past have pretty much been a necessity. Well, I will pretty much guarantee the winner this weekend is going to be shooting first strike rounds.
That's a good way to put it, because I believe the same.
There will be a good chance of if you miss, you might have a much greater penalty than in previous. There's no real penalty for missing, but you know, you may need to be shooting around certain things. There may be targets that you're not allowed to hit that are placed very close to your target, and that if you hit that target that you're not supposed to hit, that might add time to your overall time. So sort of like having an enemy player right next to a friendly player, and you got to make sure you're shooting at your enemy and not your friendly player, because you know friendly fire is on.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, no, that's good. That's a good point. That's a good point. I like that. I very much like that. I mean, we've talked at length, I think, a number of times about how, in our personal opinion, there's room for, I don't know what to call it. There's room for, the only way I could put it was a campaign. There's a space in paintball, I believe, for campaigns, which means you do eventually have to find a third party that's willing to dedicate their time to running and maintaining a completely separate faction. However, I feel like what Granite State MagFed Challenge does is it allows the door to open just a little bit for things like that, where eventually people that are timed, maybe, again, and I'm just speaking off the cuff here, that it turns into like a squad based, like a 3v3, where groups of 3 have to traverse a large plot of land, and they're timed on accuracy and objectives completion. It almost sounds like MagFed Mayhem, to be perfectly honest, but I like the fact that the GSMC is that element. It's this, like John said, you're competing against other people, obviously, but you're really competing against yourself and your best time. And I feel like in the future of GSMC, it's just like there's so much opportunity for it to become all of these crazy things, like small squad tactics, or again, individualized best times and best performances. So if you guys have a chance to, highly suggest that you show up this weekend. Obviously, yes, we have Faction War, but we also have this great thing called the GSMC, and no, you're not going to get to understand the layout before you go. No, you're not going to know where every target is. You're going to get a run through, though. John does a great job of letting you guys know exactly where your course is, what your run is going to be before you embark. And I highly suggest you're out there to listen. Don't come in late game and be like, so what are we doing? Don't do that. Show up.
Yeah, we are definitely going to be running a little earlier than the last one, because this weekend is a big weekend for all parties involved. Everyone going to the park. There's many different things going on. Faction War, for example, it is Customer Appreciation Day. There are rotos going on, and afternoon time, in between playing a little bit of MagFed with the homies, it's also Angel's birthday. So we will be having some laser tag action will be going on as well.
Oh man, that's gonna be great. Angel's birthday, man. That's great.
Excellent. Nice.
Yeah, sweet.
We're going to have a day of fun.
Oh my gosh.
All sorts of things will be going down.
Damn.
I can't really stress enough that the changes that are coming this weekend they're many. We will put it that way.
I can't wait.
And they're really just little things that are trying to help better the overall experience. And like you were saying before, knowing the course and stuff like that, well, we have made giant signs now. So there is a sign. There will be, obviously there isn't right now, there will be a sign at every position, and it will be it should be very clear about what it is you should be doing at this place that you're standing. where you should be standing and what you should be doing, and where to go from there. So this is one of the things that I think people will appreciate. And we have had, I don't know, in the past, people getting, you get under that pressure and the whistle goes, and then you make the wrong turn, you go the wrong way, you forget where you were going, or you skip the middle one or whatever. We try to make good lines and have, the caution tape out there to make it very clear where you're going. But again, we've taken it a step further. It should be very clear where you need to go, and hopefully this helps people with their times go down a little bit from last one. Again, we also, everyone gets a sheet. We keep track of everything. How many shots you took, how many hits you made, how many misses, how many bullseyes. Keep track of all your runs from the day. Some people hold on to those papers and they look back and they see that I did progressively better, or like you'll be able to look back and tell, like, I used to have my accuracy used to be like 50%, now I'm up to 60, and I'm up to 70, and you can see how you're doing. Maybe you can look for ways to improve just through going over papers. So this is a good way to compete with yourself and your friends, and just to train and learn new things. Not a lot of people have the opportunity to practice throwing a smoke grenade unless they're using an actual smoke grenade that's going off in their hand and they're playing it in the middle of a game. We do use an actual smoke grenade, but it's safe and it's taped up and can't go off, and you don't have to worry about smoke or heat or anything like that. It's the same weight as a regular size standard. I mean, they make different sizes, but it's about the medium size one. You've seen it before. But your chance to practice actually throwing a smoke grenade. So when it comes time to do that in a real game with that, $20 smoke grenade that you purchase, you don't completely miss or whatever. I know we had some people in the Modern Warfare game this weekend. Smoke grenades. I saw 3 different smoke grenades that were tossed, and I know one of them for sure definitely ended up rolling all the way down this big hill and ended up smoking out their own friendly teammates, and it was kind of a little bit of a disaster for a few minutes there for a couple of people. But again, if they'd been able to practice, maybe they would have nailed that throw.
Right. So, okay. What up, Steve? How you doing?
Show up to the challenge.
Yeah, right.
Practice. For free, I might add. It's also free. There's no cost to run the challenge. As long as you've paid your entry to be at the field, then you're good to go.
I think that's great.
Well, better enough words.
Yep. I like that. Well, I mean, guys, it just seems like you should be doing this weekend. I mean, yes, absolutely come to Faction War, but I feel like, again, we've already covered, if you don't have mag-fed gear, you just show up. If you don't, or haven't shot first strike, I'm pretty sure someone will hook you up with a couple rounds so you can shoot first strike and see what that's like. So this is just, I don't know, it just sounds like a good opportunity for you to come out, have fun with people, compete with people in a fun environment, and then compete against yourself a little bit too. And just, like John said, they keep track of everything. So you can see your accuracy rate, your hit rate, your speed overall, and your time for each run. It's just, I don't know. I can't wait for this weekend.
It's a good time. And we try to take pictures and get video for people and put those out there, and it's free if you want to try and you don't have the proper equipment, and just ask somebody, hey, do you know where I can get in touch with those guys? And they'll send you down to us and we'll help you out with whatever you need.
I love it. I know Jeff wants to not only show up to the field, but eat lunch, or brunch, I should say, at the field. And that's where I'm going to give a shameless plug. to the Faction War brunch sandwich that's at AG. A shameless plug. I don't care. I don't care. Eat it. It's chicken and waffles, damn it. You can't say no to that. And I think there's bacon too.
And then.
So it's, yeah. Psh. Listen, you know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to get.
After I order. Only after I order.
After Jeff. And yeah, and I'm going to need one too. I'm just saying. John's probably going to need one. Steve's going to. So wait until basically our whole team orders, all of our teams collectively, then try to get it. Then try to get it. Apologize in advance. It is so good, Steve. I know, dude. It's freaking ridiculous. If Chewy were in here, he'd probably say the same thing. Actually, I don't know if it's Chewy anymore.
No?
I don't know, but I don't know. I think it's Doug now.
It still is.
Is it
It still is.
Okay.
It still is in the. Well, he has many names. He's a man of many names, but yes, and depends on which group chat you're referring to. Some of them, he's Waka Waka in one of them.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. I know he's Waka Waka in one, but Chewy's been a long-standing name for him. It's been a moniker, his call sign for many moons. I know he's made some transitions into some other groups.
And away from some other groups, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know if that changes or what. Hey, for all intents and purposes, dude probably has a brand new call sign, or we'll just find one for him and don him with the new call sign.
I think we could do that.
We could do that. Yeah. I mean, there's no rule that we can't.
Maybe we should try to ask him this weekend.
Nah. Yeah. He just has no choice. And then if he's like, no, come on, guys, I'm Chewy, we'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Good job, Han.
You're fooling anyone. Oh.
Yeah, he does play pistol, so.
And he does shoot first.
Yes, he does.
I don't know.
Yes, he does.
He does. And Doug is also like 3/4 of the way on the MG train though, so not that he would give up his pistol or anything, just saying he's
Steve has converted him. Steve has successfully converted him.
Yes. He was forced to borrow at one point, and then like in Clay's situation, when you were forced to borrow since you were having a hard time. But yeah, he got bit. He got bit by the bug. So
it's hard not to, man. It's hard not to. It's right there. It's accurate. It's quiet. I'm gonna start I'm streaming Tarkov behind you guys. So if for whatever reason I'm like comms, that means someone's gonna sneak up on me and try to kill me. Other than that, I'm just gonna send this. I'm gonna multitask. I'm gonna stream and Q&A at the same time. I've done it. It's not successful. I usually die, but I do it. I don't care. I just freaking said it's Tarkov, man. You send it, and if you live, great. If you die, it's part of Tarkov. But yeah, I mean.
Quesadilla is done, so I'm gonna go eat.
Okay, sounds good. I would too, especially if I had a fresh quesadilla waiting for me. But enjoy. Thank you for showing up for Q&A. Do you have any questions for John before this weekend? I think you got to ask the man before we get into it, before we start.
No, I'll wait till he explains everything and then ask my questions.
Okay. That's very formal. All right, man. Well, hey, enjoy your dinner. Say hi to everyone and catch up with you.
You too. Have a good night.
You too, man.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this weekend has in store for us, because I know there's going to be, I shouldn't say I know, I'm hoping that there's going to be some newer players there that have not tried MagFed before. I know Adam, or Atheon, as most of you guys on stream know him, and his brother Grayson are going to be there this weekend. I will say that I may have potentially converted them into T15 guys, which we'll find out soon enough. And if that's the case, I think that they're going to be playing MagFed a little bit more often. So I don't really care what you shoot, as long as you're out there shooting with us. And I think that they're really going to enjoy the GSMC. In fact, I know they are. I know they are. They're going to have a great time.
I'm sure they will.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody should have a great time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Again, it's hard not to, man. Very hard not to.
And even, I mean, there's no real reason to be upset with anybody or anything. You're not going to get overshot. There's not, some ref isn't going to come over and think splatter is a hit. The only person that you can be upset with is maybe yourself.
Yep, exactly.
You didn't perform the way that you felt like maybe you should have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a less stressful. Yes, it is a competition, but it's I feel like I'm running it. I'm not actually competing or anything, but from the looks of the smiles and stuff on people's faces, it should be a much less stressful environment than like your average, a big game or something along those lines, where you might be playing with people that you don't normally play with. Maybe you don't 100% agree with their play styles or something. Like this is just, it's different. Not a lot of people shoot their markers in a training way, in a training manner.
I totally agree.
We have found as a team, we didn't get to do it very often. We had started and then COVID hit and things changed a little bit. But with this, with the GSMC, was basically just came up because we were figuring out a way to train, without necessarily going out and playing against other people or whatever. Like MagFed, as you know, is kind of hard to do. It's not as popular as speedball by any means, so finding people to play with or against or scrimmage or what have you in a MagFed only situation is not the easiest thing to do.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
But being able to hone your skills in a way that's not like shooting against speedball markers and stuff like that in big games is not the same as shooting against other first strike shooters in MagFed only games.
Very true.
So you're practicing a different sport almost. So being able to just practice running and leveling your marker at the target and shooting it.
Someone's wiping me here. And I agree. I totally agree with that. What's up, buddy? What are you up to? Yeah, I feel like and to your point, that nobody really uses their marker as any type of training element outside of, speedball. I feel like speedball is a definitive. Like, you have to be training constantly. Like, you are competing in a specific capacity, whereas like in woods ball, that doesn't happen all the time. People don't always compete in woods ball. There's not really like a
and there's there isn't always referee there to police things and to see and the people that are playing speedball competitively, they all are there because they're taking it seriously. They don't cheat. You can't, not that you could cheat really, I suppose, but I mean, not that everyone cheats in woods ball. It's not the same. It's just much easier to do so and not maybe get hit and say, I didn't get hit. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen and just
Mm-hmm.
keep on playing. But you know, the GSMC, we see if you hit the target or not. So, you know,
There's no hiding it.
there's no hiding how you
No, your
and
performance
and,
is
it,
recorded, which is so cool.
and it's for your benefit. You know, you want
It
to
is.
do better.
Yeah,
So
that's why again, like, and I'm a firm believer of it, that you perform against yourself. And yes, there's other people doing the same exact thing that you're doing there, which is cool. And yeah, you do get competitive with others. You kind of want to, but at the same time, it's not that type of competition. It's not the type of competition where, again, there's bad attitudes or like poor judgment calls. It's actually really good. It's fun. It's super fun. And people are there to cheer you on. Let's not forget to mention that. Like, the people you're
yeah,
playing with
they're
want
watching you.
you, yeah, they want you to do well. It's not just like oh, I did this and I didn't do so great, okay, and then everyone's quiet. It's like, no, man, people are there to help you progress as well and make you feel like you're doing a good job, mostly because you probably are doing a good job. Probably doing a great job. And it's nice to have that encouragement.
Yeah, and we do, you know, it's not just whoever gets first place that gets recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, you know, there are awards, and maybe not awards for everything, but there are awards, and there's definitely statistics that are recorded, so everyone knows like what has happened. So if maybe you did horrible the first and the second round, but you aced third round, you know, like you might get like the most improved or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's other things that can happen, and there's other, we doing better than you did before. Like that's the point. Like you doing better than you did the round previous. Not maybe not doing better than Joe did the round previous. You just need to be better than you did the previous round. And if you happen to beat someone else's time, also, I mean, cool. But really, it's just trying to do better yourself, and you're really just competing against yourself
Mm-hmm.
and helping yourself be a better shooter and more. That's the goal. Make everyone, with the price of first strike constantly on the rise, we need to figure out how to make every shot count. So that's what we're doing. Let's make every shot count, and let's keep pushing harder and
Yep.
faster. And
Yep.
like I said, we're up to round 5. There'll be round 10. There'll be 15. There'll be 20. And it's gonna keep evolving and changing.
On this truck,
And
homie.
so it's just gonna be everyone, as long as everyone's enjoying it and everyone's having a good time and learning and getting better, then there's no reason for me to start charging any money or change really much about it in the terms. Like, it's always going to be bring your own FSR. Like
Mm-hmm.
I try to make sure I have some for people that aren't able to get it or don't have it. Like I have a back stock of it for especially, like, I keep it specifically for GSMC, but yes, I'm pretty much strictly a first strike shooter at this point. So yes, I do have plenty at my house. So we will always have it for challenge. If we can't get it, then if for some reason first strike doesn't exist anymore or something, I don't see that happening. But like this is what it's designed for. I will try to always have it there, at least some for people. And no, and even if you're bringing your own, this is 5 shots. You get 3 tries. That's 15 rounds. And if you don't, if you don't need to
What up?
take
What up?
every shot every time, then you're really not going to use that much. So it's really not that expensive round wise,
It's true.
But
Now with the
And
slight
we,
the slight price, there is definitely a slight price increase, which kind of, if you guys don't know about it, I'll probably be the first to say it. There is going to be a slight increase on the price of First Strike, just universally. We're not
yes,
only looking at a price increase, but we're looking at a round count decrease, which is not exact.
yes, they're getting rid of the 600.
Yeah, that's not going to be a thing anymore. So just keep that in mind. You're probably, and this is estimated, you're probably going to get like a 300 round box for around 120 bucks. Somewhere in there. And that's just like that's a guesstimate. That's a guesstimate. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
I
actual
believe.
price is going to be. So,
Yeah, I read the same thing that you did, I believe. So,
really? Okay.
yeah,
Alright, so I'm not the only one. I'm
I've,
not the only one.
I've heard the same information that you've heard. I've heard goodbye 600 count,
Mm-hmm.
and we're looking at between 110 and 120.
Damn. That's crazy.
And if we were pretty much paying 110 before, I think if you're buying them by the bag for 300, they're roughly usually around 55. So you're looking at 110 for 2 bags.
Yeah.
So I think it might be more towards the 120.
Okay. Okay.
I suppose it's almost. Obviously, the price increase, nobody wants that, but I guess it's. I don't want to say expected, but with the way the things are going, it just. I guess it is sort of expected the way the whole world is, but again, paint pricing just went up slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also not charging what First Strike is charging, and they also have a much better quality control. If you're buying the high-end paint, you're getting high-end rounds. If you're buying First Strike rounds, which they should all be high-end rounds, it's hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get a bag of crap.
Yeah.
And when you're spending $60 on a bag of 150 rounds, if fucking 3 of them or 4 or 5 of them aren't so good,
Yep. Totally agree.
and you're not a happy camper. When you buy a box of 2,000 paintballs and maybe you got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 that are dimpled, that's only $1, $2 at most.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pretty close to $1 for 2 rounds. So
yeah. Exactly. Which means each mag is now what, $8 or something like that?
Yeah. So if I mag dump you, then I really dislike you. Then that's what that means.
That's basically exactly what that means. I mean,
second day of freelancers, man, I went through like a whole case in like 2 hours. I was hot for taking out a certain tower, and I was playing Steve's suppressor, and I went through every single mag I brought out and started taking Steve's. And
damn.
Steve had been through like 4 mags, but my job was to make them duck so Steve could line something up. So in the First Strike only game, someone's got to be that position. In a magfit only game, that guy would probably be being played by somebody shooting round ball with like a box mag or, a lot more paint than I had or something. But First Strike only, if you mag dump somebody now, it means you're seriously messed up, buddy. Somebody just spent a few dollars to let you know that they're pissed off.
That was good. They do not like you at the moment. Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, First Strike is ridiculously expensive. I will be the first person to sit out there and say that I don't really approve of the way that they're handling anything that they're doing in terms of consumer relations, because that should be a priority for them, but it just doesn't seem to be, because when you own the market, and you own the patent on what the market consists of, it's kind of difficult for like the regular consumer to kind of to deviate and to be like, oh yeah, you know, we're getting a great value. And that's usually what most consumers want. They want to think that they are getting a great value on something. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know when the last time I felt like they were offering us a great value was. I really can't. I can't, because in the beginning it was expensive. And now it's equal parts expensive. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I don't think I'll fully understand why it is that we need to see a price increase on our side when we control a specific market versus like, oh, I don't know, like military and law enforcement markets, which are consuming probably like 50 times the amount, maybe 10 times the amount that we are. So anyway, long story short, our market isn't saturated with a ton of people that are buying this other than civilian market, law enforcement, and military. And I don't approve of the way that we have to get spiked for price increases. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all. I think we should be paying less over time because we're consistent versus contracts. That's all.
I don't see how I mean, yes, I get that the world's more expensive, but in most situations and in most things, it would make sense to raise prices and maybe adjust the way you're doing things. But the way they're doing it with this, people are already hesitant. There's a few people that just, they don't care. They will spend whatever to shoot first strike.
Exactly.
You can make it however much you want. They're shooting only first strike.
Yeah.
Period.
They don't care.
So I came from strictly paintballs, and then I dabbled in first strike, and then I made the financial mistake of getting my wife involved with paintball. And then she discovered first strike, and then it was all downhill from there. So I'm addicted. That's the only thing that I'm gonna use now. But a lot of people use both or hardly use first strike. And a lot of those people are MG shooters. I know there's a lot of TMC people out there that are forced to not shoot first strike unless they want to expensively modify their round ball only gun. They're just going to be shooting round ball. People that have a choice, though, MG shooters, out of the box, can go either way. Right out of the box, totally fine. Yes, rifled barrels, this and that, whatever. That's besides the point. But right out of the box, you don't got to change anything. You can shoot first strike, or you can just shoot regular paint,
which is beautiful.
Be 100% okay either way.
Which is beautiful. I love that.
So a lot of people are just gonna not buy first strike anymore.
Pretty much.
So they're not gonna. I don't see first strike as a company saving money or making more money, or if in fact, I don't see how this could be anything but a loss.
I think so too. And my question would persist, because I am a little bit biased. But my question would persist: what the hell? Why would you not grab onto every single, in civilian market, our market? Why wouldn't you grab onto every single recurring promoter? A promoter that has a recurring program, whether it be Faction War or something else, doesn't even have to be ours. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you go to them and say, hey, I understand you have this process that like allows you to give people access to our product consistently, every 2 weeks. Even if people aren't buying a case every 2 weeks, you cut the cost of complete ownership of that product. Basically, what ends up happening is you increase your sales because people, again, they're getting a good value on something, and they're more interested in supporting, I think is the best word, or the most diplomatic word, in supporting a company that has them in mind like that. Because if not, then I'm gonna be honest, like you said, people are most likely just going to end up buying less. They're not going to care. They're going to look at it like, well, this is an expenditure. This isn't even like now you have to sock away more money just to shoot. And I agree, I'm a little addicted to them as well, but you're going to have to sock away more money in order to shoot them on a more regular basis. And again, that's why I think First Strike's model is a little bit backwards. They should have considered that. I'm not in business with them. I'm not UTS, the company that makes them. But I just think that that's a little bit backwards. I think that whole concept doesn't work. And you're right. People are just going to buy less. So
And maybe an ever so slight price drop, and they would have sold a bunch more. Might have been, or even just coming out and saying, "Hey, I know everyone else is making stuff more expensive. We're not going to do that."
Right.
Maybe that would have been.
That would have been a huge up. That's a good point.
Thing.
That's a really, really good point. What if they would have came out and said, yeah, the cost of goods, raw goods, materials, processing, business operations is all increased, but we're not going to take it out on the consumer. In fact, we're going to decrease the price. And if you order in bulk, like say you're a field, right? You give the field the opportunity, like, look guys, there's no margin in this for you, but if you order in bulk, say we had Eric order for Faction War twice a year, he could cut down the overall cost. He could charge us whatever. You know, it's in Eric's hands. If he wanted, obviously, to make some profit to make his business stronger, then that's what he would do. And I wouldn't have a problem supporting Eric in that regard. So think about it. If First Strike even dropped their price so fields could actively generate revenue, they would have an entire market of, okay, we can support your field. I don't think that like the fact that fields ban First Strike or events ban First Strike or even the communities ban First Strike is even an indicator of its necessity on the field, because like it's no different than round ball, and in most instances it's actually safer. Round ball does more damage to your body being a blunt versus First Strike, which you travel in a straight line, yep, but they're more frangible. And so that being said, I don't understand why First Strike wouldn't look at the fields even and say, hey, you guys should be selling these like paintballs. Maybe not the same price. They could increase the price a little, sure. It's a niche item. It's a specialty round, right? That's cool. You can keep your exclusivity like that. Once you start taking it out on the little guy like this, it's exactly what you said, John. People just buy less. Just buy less.
Unfortunately, some of us are in a position where they will need to purchase the same amount. So, which would be myself. So, I am just have to roll with it.
Yep.
But again, I'm gonna stomp my feet and cry about it the entire time. But I will do it. I will still do it because I'm one of those. I'm one of those guys.
I like First Strike too, man. I prefer it. I prefer it. I shoot T15s. I prefer to have First Strike. I do like my full auto round ball, though. I'm just gonna say I do like full auto.
No, see, unfortunately, I like my full auto First Strike.
Yeah, that too. That too. But I just like I like burning through mags sometimes. It is fun. And it's not the same as a speedball marker burning through mags at all. It's very aggressive. But it's great. It's absolutely great. Now, since we only have like 5-ish minutes left, I don't want to deviate too much. But I did make this promo for this upcoming event, and I feel like I got to put it up there. Yeah, we did stream a little bit. That did happen. Yes, folks, we did. We ran a lighthouse. It was in the background, but like the title of this says, it's an interview process. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to post up the next promo that we have for the next event series that we have coming up called MagFed Mayhem, because I finally finished it and I set up the date. So John, this might even be the first time you get to see this. Pow! Pop that up there. So this is MagFed Mayhem. These are MagFed only days that we collectively as a group have decided that we're going to have at AG. 3 dates: July, August, and September, right in the middle of the month. Right in the middle. Oh, I have two images in there at the same time. Let me just get rid of this real quick. Let me just get rid of that. Boop. Perfect. So, MagFed Mayhem, again, is a collective effort between all of us and what we want to see as a community in our MagFed only games. These are MagFed only games. We will have loaners available. And I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not going to speak for every paintball player, but as John and I have both stated, if you need a marker and you show up, chances are we're going to let you use it. And that being said, these games are going to be geared towards veteran MagFed only players, but also new MagFed only players, people that don't really know what MagFed is about, the pace, the style of play. It is FSR friendly, so expect first strike at this type of event. I'm just going to put it out there. If you've never played MagFed, 90% of the reason we play MagFed is to shoot first strike. The other 10% is a necessity to play paintball and have pew-pew time with our friends. That's just for MagFed only, and that's because we're enjoying our time with our friends. 100% of the time, at all events, is we want to make sure that people are enjoying what it is we do.
When you're done talking,
at Faction War games, we have an open class format, and MagFed only games, again, it'll be just a MagFed format. And like I said, it is FSR friendly. It is shield friendly. It's box mag friendly. And there's no capacity on your rate of fire, no capacity on your person in terms of how many mags that you can carry. If you do that box mag thing, you're only going to be able to have a singular box mag on you per person. But again, like I said, this collaborative effort between all of us and what we've deemed as MagFed only days at AG Paintball. Dates are right up there, guys. So see if that fits your schedule. Yeah, no, no, that's right. That's right, Turok. No, it's not all first strike. It is 100% just seeing our friends and family at the field. But the fact that first strike is there, yeah, that's what MagFed players want to shoot. We all want to shoot first strike. And we want other people to shoot them at us. I know that sounds weird, but that's true. It's very true. We don't want just us to be shooting them, so don't think it's an exclusivity thing. So, guys, it's 7 o'clock. We have completed the interview stream / game stream. John, thank you for giving the people the update on GSMC. Thank you for answering our questions, my questions. Thanks for being informative. And again, guys, tomorrow, should you decide that you want to play some MagFed, we will be there to make sure that we can put a marker in your hands. Maybe a little first strike, maybe, if you ask nicely. And we'll get you on your way so you can see